total of 1.72 million eligible voters will decide electoral fate in today's Edo State governorship election, where the two main gladiators are Governor Godwin Obaseki of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and Pastor Iyamu of the All Progressives Congress (APC). Records at the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) indicate that no fewer than 1.72 million persons are eligible to vote, while 483,796 eligible voters will not participate. An INEC document titled the Limitation of Edo State shows that the number of ineligible voters is on account of failure to collect their permanent voters card. The consolidated figure of registered voters in the state as at August 2018 stands at 2.2 million registered voters, while only 1.7 collected their PVCs, the document indicates. The document shows that Edo has 18 local government areas with 192 wards and 2,627 polling units. A further breakdown of the registered voters figure in the document shows that the male accounts for 1,159,325, representing 52%, while 1,051,209 are female, of 48%. Similarly, from the total registered voters, the youth 18 to 35 years account for 50%, 105,338. Middle-aged between 36 and 50 years account for 29.1%, which is 643,551, and elderly 51 to 70 years has 15.99%, which is 353,508. Eligible voters classified as the old 70 years and above account for 4.89%, which is 108,137. Further distribution of registered voters in the 3 senatorial districts of the state shows that Edo South has the highest figure of 1.281,414, the North with 564,122, and Central Senatorial District has about 364,998. Edo South has 7 council areas. The North has 6, while Central has 5 local government areas. According to the number of collected PVCs, Oredo Zone has 240,197. Ipoboka is 214,882. Ego has 158,817. Esako West has 128,188. And Akoko Edo with 115,343. This came as a group known as Center for Liberty in collaboration with Smiles Africa International Youth Development Initiative called on the electorate in Edo to reject financial inducement during the governorship election. Mr. Rio Dare Atoye, the co-convener, Center for Liberty, made the call during a rally held in Benin. Atoye said that the rally became necessary to complement other critical stakeholders' contribution towards ensuring a violence-free election. He said, "We want to specifically admonish the people of Edo to reject financial inducements and shun violence during the election. We are calling on Edo people not to sell their votes. If you sell your vote, the implications are that it is going to be difficult to demand good governance in the next 4 years from whoever wins the election. It is important that the people of Edo exercise their franchise without inducement, intimidation, or violence. We are here basically with our supporters in the state to plead for peace ahead of the election. We want the security agencies to be alive to their duties and responsibilities and ensure that nobody is stopped from voting and they will all go there in peace," he said. According to him, the next 4 years is very crucial to the people of Edo State. Good governance is very crucial, and without election, we cannot have good leaders. And without good leaders, we cannot have good governance, he said. Atoye Lament also warned the youth against allowing themselves to be used for violence by greedy politicians. We are appealing to stakeholders to send back those boys that they want to deploy for violence. It is time to get it right in Nigeria, he noted. Also speaking, the executive director of Smiles Africa International Youth Initiative, Purpose, is a here called on President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Assembly to urgently amend the electoral law. Isereme said, "We are calling on lawmakers to urgently amend and pass the Electoral Act. We are having this problem because we have a faulty Electoral Act and create room for violence and malpractices to take place without prescribed sanctions. If all these things are taken care of by the Electoral Act, our work as civil society will not be to preach for a peaceful election but to preach against voter apathy," he said. Mrs. Deborah Ajayi Eseni, founder of Gift a Child Initiative, also called for the amendments of the Electoral Act that would make politics safe for women. According to Eseni, the foundation of every democracy is a credible electoral process. So we are lending our voices to call for the amendments of the Electoral Act that would protect the interests of every Nigerian, she said. Meanwhile, barely 24 hours to the governorship election in Edo State, hotel reservations within Benin and its environs were booked up by visitors to the state. A correspondent who went round some of the hotels reported that most have had their accommodation booked as at Thursday night. Officials of the hotels visited said that the high volume of guests was not unconnected with the September 19th governorship election in the state. Some of the officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity said most of the reservations were done in groups, either by organizations or individuals. They said that many of the reservations were also made many weeks back. It was observed that some newsmen accredited to cover the elections who arrived in Benin since Wednesday encountered difficulties securing affordable hotel accommodation as they failed to make reservation ahead of time. Some of the media practitioners were seen milling around the Nigerian Union of Journalists Press Center on Reservation Road, strategizing on the best way to conduct coverage of the election. Blessing Uwe, who runs a hotel on Airport Road, said that the last time the hotel had full capacity was in December 2019. Many of our guests have booked ahead of time and we had many coming since Wednesday who couldn't find space, she said. Okay, we know that this is the time. This time is a politicians' Christmas. This time, that is where their own Christmas comes. That is when they know what they are going to do, because this one will not determine how they are going to be living their flamboyant life for majority of for most of them, because most of them don't even know what they are doing. They are just there just to show themselves, to show power. That is all they want. So with these numbers, 1.7 million Edo voters decide on Iyamu, Obaseki, others today. So the numbers of those who are going to be participating, we've heard the numbers, and more so, because of COVID-19, the INEC was apologizing that they couldn't register a lot of people because of the situation, but you could see that people during rally, nobody was observing social distancing, but when it came to the issue of registering people, they told us because of COVID-19. Can you see the hypocrisy? And nobody even talked about the crowd that we witnessed in those their rallies, both APC and PDP. But when it comes to, people to be able to demonstrate their rights, you are giving us an excuse about COVID-19. But let's see what happens. Today is the D-Day, just like we have said. Let us know what will happen by the end of the day. But we are going to be updating you as events unfolds. Leave your comments below and let's have your take.